If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Straight Talk MMA, hosted by Zay Bones, the MMA Brothers.
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Not much. Another Sunday. Good morning. Good morning.
Happy
Thanks
football
everybody.
Sunday.
Happy football Sunday. All that good stuff. This is Straight Talk MMA. I am Zay,
And there's Bones.
and we are the MMA Brothers, and we are here to go over what was an epic night of fights last night. Historical night of fights. UFC 306. Noche
Riyadh
season. Oh my God, this was an amazing card.
Hey, bro, before we get into the fights, what did you think about the presentation of everything?
Man, everything was awesome. I mean, the presentation, the step away from the normal ring card girl situation. They had different ring card girls. Somebody was here, and they stated last night that I like this better than seeing the girls half naked, and I couldn't agree more. It was
and keep in mind that was a casual MMA fan, not a hardcore fan.
right, and they just put so much into it. The way the ring card girls evolved with each fight.
Amazing.
Makeup, full costume, body paint. The story that they were telling was amazing. Everybody told Dana he couldn't do it. I love when people tell him that because he always proven wrong. Kind of reminded me of COVID. It was only 10 fights, but it was probably it was definitely one of the best cards of the year. I got to put this right up there with 300.
Yeah, in my opinion, the presentation was amazing. I like the way the screen was evolving throughout time before every fight. And like you said, the ring card girls, that was amazing. That added a nice touch to it. I don't want to nitpick or whatever, but my only complaint would be they should have started putting on the screen earlier from the fight one. That's what I was looking forward to. That's what I thought they was going to do. But they did, and it's all good.
Trevor said that presentation was WrestleMania level.
Yeah, because like before, when Rosas was fighting and stuff like that, when the screen is not on, it just looked like you can just see like a plain LED screen or something like that. It's kind of weird.
But I don't think nothing compares to that presentation like that I've ever seen personally. And he said that his goal was to be nominated for an Emmy, Grammy, and Oscar.
Damn it,
I
he
don't know
should
if
get
that's
something.
happening, but he should. They should show him some love somewhere.
I don't. No, I don't think he's gonna get on the nose. But when it comes to the ESPYS, that's where he'll get his award. He got to.
Uh, he said that they usually have the lighting about 40 feet hanging over the octagon with the microphones and whatnot.
Yeah.
He said it took 4 months just to figure out how to do it without that, because that's usually 40 feet up. What they had to do is put something like 400 feet up behind the panels, and they couldn't have no shadows in the octagon, none of that. So he said that alone costed a lot of money, and I'm just glad they pulled it off. I was very impressed.
They already made a documentary about this, so he had to film through them, right?
yeah, exactly.
Now Triple H is going to try to outdo that at WrestleMania. Only problem with that is they don't seat a lot of people. They don't seat a lot of people for WrestleMania, so I don't know if WWE will want to do that because I'm gonna look it up, but I don't think it seats a lot of people though. They like to hit the 50,000, 70,000 and stuff like that.
I said, he said they only had like 16,000 plus in the building.
See, 16,000.
And they still broke gate records. They broke merchandise records. Highest grossing event in UFC history. And I feel like the only way somebody can come close to that or top that is if they have to do it in the Sphere. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't top that because the background, the LEDs, everything like that, bro. You see every fan had on a wristband too that was lighting up and everything. The seats vibrated with the hard punches and everything. So when they came to wars like the Zellhuber fight, them seats was vibrating nonstop.
Yeah, man. And the fights delivered too. The fights delivered. People was complaining, "Oh, this is not going to be a good card. It's only 10 fights. They don't only fight that's going to be good at the co-main and the main." And it's like, I mean, every fight delivered. And that's what I be saying. Like, just because you don't know the name, don't mean they can't fight. At some point, you didn't know the name Mike Tyson. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting off the night, early prelims.
Hey, let me just say something real quick.
Go for it.
Whenever I watch MMA with a first timer or somebody I never watched it before, and they see Raul Rosas Jr., they always question me like, "Oh, what's wrong with this guy?"
You look like one of them goldfish with the big eyes, and
yeah. But we're not here to talk about his looks, though. We're talking about his performance, man.
Yeah, we had El Nino No Problema, Raul Rosas Jr.
Chiwi.
Taking on the Mongolian murderer, Richie Long. This fight was pretty much rinse and repeat. I did miss the second round because I had something going on. Trevor said I did fall asleep before the main event, but we all know what that main event was.
I knew what it was. Everybody else didn't know. I've been preaching that. We'll get there though.
Yeah. So
what's up, man? Cat?
What up?
Yo.
So I did notice that Raul Rosas exhibited way more patience. You can see him building that experience. He did get the win via decision. He didn't just go straight for the takedown. He stood with Richie Long for a minute. Eventually did get the takedown in the first round. Kept him there for the remainder of the round. Feel like if it was about 30 more seconds left in the round, he could have got the sub. Like I said, I completely missed the second round. And in the third round, I feel like it was a repeat of the first round from what I saw.
Yeah, it was. It was rinse and repeat. He kept his distance for the most part. He was jabbing them, and then he'll go for the takedown. Richie Long was able to get back up a few times, but Rosas, he's showing more patience, like you said, and he's not just straight up just shooting for the takedown and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's starting to try to improve his hands too, seem like.
Yeah, so he is getting better. He is improving. I like what I see. I like the way they're moving him along. I don't know how high his ceiling is, but I feel like they're doing the right thing. They just, moving him along gently. You feel me? Not giving him nothing crazy.
And keep in mind, he just turned 19. He got a UFC contract when he was in the 11th grade. So,
yeah.
coming from the Contender Series to now, he does have that one loss against Christian Rodriguez, and I feel like that kind of helped him evolve because it showed him that you can't just go shoot blast doubles and submit everybody because some people like pretty much it showed him that he can be vulnerable, and I feel like that's only making him a better fighter. I don't know what you think would be next for him.
Montel Jackson, ranked number 15, maybe.
I was just going to say, should we give him a top 15 fight? So
I don't. I wasn't thinking about it, but he asked for it. He's asking for it, and then when I look at number 15, Montel Jackson, I think he could beat him. Don't you?
Yeah, just be careful, like, because
Montel can't put him out.
And not just that, but once you get in the top 15,
yeah,
like it's no going back unless you lose.
Hey, listen, you got Montel at 15, Dominic Cruz at 14, Jonathan Martinez at 13, Kyler Phillips at 12.
And see, Kyler Phillips, I feel like it'd be a matchup problem.
Yeah, Mario Batista at number 11 and Aldo at 10. So,
yeah, so I would say probably give him one more than top 15.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, regular prelims. Again, it was only a 10-fight card.
Man, this fight killed me, man.
This was a banger. I immediately thought it was going to be fight. Well, I didn't think it was going to be, but once I saw it, the way it played out, I was like, damn, this is the fight of the night so far. We had Piero Cicali, Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Vance. Joshua Vance, he did get dropped in the first round. Edgar Chairez opened up with some nice leg kicks, and he kind of picked Joshua Vance apart in the first round. The leg kicks was really getting to him. Like I said, Vance did get dropped. In the second round, the fight turned into a slugfest, and Joshua Vance dominated most of the second round. He has very nice body shots. Thinking Black says definitely an immediate contender for fight of the night, but exactly, it was one of those nights. So Joshua Vance, in my mind, and for the picks, we all did pick Raul Rosas Jr. in the first fight. This fight, I picked Van, you picked Chairez. We were both saying there's no way the other guy's going to win. Turns out that we both could have been kind of right in a sense because the way the second round played out, Van started coming in with the body shots. I guess the corner lit a fire under him. Keep in mind, he had no training camp for this fight, too. He stepped in on short notice. Once he started landing the body shots and closing the distance, he was using leg kicks of his own. He ended up backing Chairez up. Then he dropped him. And Chairez was he popped right back up though, kind of like dropped him to a knee, and then he was on the bike trying to get away. Joshua Vance hitting him with a barrage of punches. One time he did almost fall. I thought the fight was going to get finished, but he grabbed the fence, and then he got up and he hit Vance with a spinning back fist, and then Vance was rocked. And now it's like like the fight might end the other way. And then they went to war for a while, exchanging punches, kicks. Van kept going to the body. Eventually, when Vance got rocked, he got a takedown. Chairez got him in a guillotine attempt. It got kind of deep for a second, but Van got out of it and was able to execute some ground and pound. Chairez ended up getting back to his feet. Vance teed off on him like 3 or 4 times. Chairez came right back, hit him with a head kick, teed off on him a little bit more. And it was to the point where at one point, I say midway through the second round, you're like, oh, this is a 10-8 round. If it makes it to the third. And then Chairez was able to get his offense off and put it back at a 10-9, in my opinion. But I can see how someone could argue that he almost like won the round, but I can't see how you would give him that round. Third round, Chairez was kind of tired, which speaks to Joshua's cardio because he didn't
have no count.
What happened?
I say he didn't have no count.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. At one point, they traded in the third round a little bit, but Van got the takedown, and they pretty much rode out on the bottom for the remainder of the last round, and Joshua Van came out with the victory, 2-1.
Bro, you just broke the fight down so good. Like, there's really nothing more for me to say. But the sequence, I think it was in the second round, where Van was tagging him, and then Charez caught him with that spinning bat fist. Oh my goodness, bro! I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get this one because this fight was very important in the standings because you picked Van, I picked Charez, but Charez is becoming one of my fighters that I'm not becoming a fan of for my own bias reasons because every time I pick against him, he wins. But then whenever I pick him, he loses. So it's like I can never get it right with him.
Yeah, but he definitely showed that Mexican heart. It was definitely
For
understood.
real. That was
And
the theme of the night.
yeah, it was. And I will say that he did better than I thought. Like I thought it was no way possible for Van to lose this fight, and you thought it was no way possible for Charez to win. It ended up being an epic battle. And shout out to both guys, man.
Bro, Charez, he just got that look about him and the way he come out with the bullets all across his chest and stuff like that.
He looked like a Mexican Peloton.
Yeah, bro. And he's extremely tough too. And I don't see him get dropped and finish people off the bottom of the ground or whatever, but
And that guillotine is a submission too.
yeah.
All right here. We got one of our performance bonus winners. We had Yasmin Howergy versus Ketlin Souza.
Just for the record, we both picked Yasmin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this fight ended in the first round. Yasmin was very technical, keeping her at range, long jabs. She was mixing up her variety of strikes, kicks. She was throwing awkward combinations. Like she would throw a right punch, right knee right behind it. She would lead with like a left side kick and then throw a right hook behind it. It was just kind of weird. She was keeping Ketlin guessing and definitely trying to keep her at range. Every time she got backed up to the cage, she kind of circled to one side and was able to like retake the center of the octagon. But Ketlin Souza did show that she had some power because every time she did connect, when they were like getting a long exchange, when she closed the distance and connected, you can see that she was definitely the more powerful striker. But I thought that Yasmin was going to be able to just keep the technique up. Not like she was throwing pillows in there, but it just wasn't the same effect when she landed. But she was definitely landing way more. She was winning the round. She even mixed in some takedown attempts, but you can tell she didn't really want to take her down. She was just trying to keep her guessing, overload her with information. At one point, they exchanged like a 3-punch combination each, just like a firefight. And I saw like, oh man, like she can't be exchanging with this girl like that because like prime example, Rampage, when he throws a left hook, like when he throws combinations, his hand is always by that chin.
Yeah.
Yasmin would drop hers and just throw and then back away. Yasmin tried to throw. They both threw a combination. Yasmin, I think, she threw like a cross, and as she was throwing it, Ketlin slipped it, hit her with a left hook, dropped her nasty. I thought that was a gonna be a knockout, but then she went and jumped on the sub. Thinking Black said, I still say asterisk, and the reason why, first time in MMA history that I know of, it had 2 low blows in the fight from females. Females usually don't usually see that. Yasmin hit Ketlin with a low blow first, and Ketlin came back probably like 30 seconds later, and mean click kick, like just shout out to Thinking Black for that one. But yeah, mean, and then the left hook came not long after that. But I felt like that was intentional. She wanted to get that back.
You go ahead.
Yeah, but I feel like that could have been knockout of the night if she didn't sub her.
Bro, Caitlin, she's
What up,
nasty.
Keela? What up, Keela?
What's up, Keela? Best moderator in the business. Caitlin, she's nasty like that, bro. Like she's mean to the point where I can see her definitely doing that just to get back. And Joe even said it in the fight. He was like, Yasmin kind of lost focus a little bit because she was kind of complaining or whatever. But I'm not sure how much of that I would factor into the result. You know what I mean? I feel like Caitlyn just kind of caught her, and like you said, her fundamentals, Yasmin. The reason why we picked her is because we thought she would be more technical, and her fundamentals wasn't always up to par as far as keeping her hand to her chin and stuff like that. She got caught with that hook, and I thought she was going to get finished too. But shout out to Caitlyn. She was able to jump on that opportunity and get the submission win. That was pretty impressive. And not only did she get the submission win, she put her out too. She was out.
She was fighting the hands for a while, but then it's like it was one of those bitches where she went out with her eyes open.
I was just gonna say I seen her eyes, and once I seen her eyes, like kind of just stay like kind of get stiff, or whatever, or kind of just stop moving. I was like, damn, I think she out. You feel me? But once again, this was one of those fights where I was watching with a new MMA fan, and this was pretty impressive. It had us both jumping out of our seat and everything. He was like, damn, man, like I ain't never seen a female get put out like that. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the UFC, you know.
Katlyn Souza, all of her wins have come in the first round.
Yeah, she nasty, bro.
And I'm interested to see what happens with her next. Yasmin Aourgi, that's 2 losses in her last like 4. She was very highly touted. Now she's 11-2. And I'm starting to feel like if she doesn't turn it around, she will not live up to the hype.
She got to turn it around in her next fight. Oh my goodness!
Next up,
all right. For the record, you picked Ignacio Bahamondes. I picked Torres. I said before, it's 3 fights that I'm very confident in. Because we didn't do the pre-show, I said it was Torres, Marab, and Zellhuber. So keep that in mind. Torres, Marab, and Zellhuber. This was Torres right here.
Yeah, we had Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I was pretty confident that Bahamondes was going to win this fight. I feel like he's a little underrated, very explosive. I knew this was going to be a great fight because both guys come to fight. Manuel Torres started off the first round throwing super hard with everything, which he always does. Bahamondes was able to kind of keep his range. That was kind of like a theme of the night because he's very tall for a lightweight. He was able to keep his range. He kept catching them coming in with a step back right cross. Once he got his timing down and he dropped him with it one time, I thought the fight was going to be over then. Mexican Heart, he pulled that Mexican Heart card out, slammed it on the table, got back up, and got himself back in the fight. Did Torres, but then he was just too aggressive and he kept lunging in, and he got caught again with the same fadeaway right hand, and I felt like it was very O'Malley-like the way he threw it, and he dropped him again. Both times when he got hit with it, stopped him dead in his tracks. Bahamondes showed that he is truly a sniper. Feel like he hit him literally in the same spot with that every time he threw it. And the second time, it was no recovering. He got on top of him, ground and pounded him out, and got the KO. I would definitely say that was probably the knockout of the night.
This fight here just hurt me so bad, man.
Not to cut you off, but at this point, I was really feeling myself because I love the sports I told you so's when it comes to telling bones. I told you. And this was my second one for the night, so I was enjoying that.
Your second one for the night? Yeah, because
Chares.
Yeah. I wasn't too confident in the Chares pick, but this one though, man, I went in guns blazing. I was so confident in this one. Whenever I think about Manuel Torres, I just see him elbowing the guy like to hell. Oh, that was a nasty elbow.
Hey, what elbow was that one or the one that Diego Sanchez ate from
Matt Brown?
Matt Brown.
Oh no, I think this was pretty bad because I watched it and it was like he hit him so hard that he threw all his momentum in it and he fell forward himself, bro. That's how hard he hit him. You feel me?
Same thing though.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Torres. I knew he was going to bring it. I thought that he would be able to put out Baja Mendez. I guess I was sleeping on Baja Mendez, Nacho, who trains with the welterweight champion, Bilal. Remember the name Muhammad? Um, Baja Mendez just thrashed him, bro. He put him out. He dropped him, and then he got back up. I was already kind of nervous, and then he dropped him again. And Torres, he couldn't get back up. It was pretty nasty. I'm a fan of Baja Mendez. I'm not gonna let this loss, turn me against him or whatever. You know how I get. But I'm a fan of him. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do next. It's the lightweight division, so his murder was real. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was nasty.
And the lightweight division is murderer's row when you got two guys at this level that's not even ranked.
Yes, I know.
And don't get me wrong, I picked Baja Mendez and I was pretty confident, but I definitely saw a path to victory for Torres. Like I knew that the fight wasn't gonna go to a decision, and I was pretty sure that I knew that Torres could very well do it, but I feel like Baja Mendez is a special talent. And at this point in the night, Mexico is 1-3. 1-3. And it's not looking too good for him right now.
Yep.
Next up, who did you pick in this fight?
We both picked Aldana, bro.
Nah, I picked Dumont.
Let me look at the thing. But yeah, I picked Aldana, definitely.
All right.
Oh yeah, you did pick Dumont, yeah.
So this fight was pretty much rinse and repeat from round 1 to round 3. I feel like Irene Aldana is the better boxer, but I feel like she's too one-dimensional. She didn't even really use any kicks
At all.
She didn't really let her hands go, but I'm not gonna put that so much on her. I would say that Norma Dumont did an extremely good job with her footwork and controlling the distance. Because I feel like Irene Aldana, when she did let her hands go, she kept throwing that lead left hook. And Norma Dumont, I didn't realize how defensively responsible she was when it comes to the head movement. Her movement was key to this fight, I believe. She just kept letting her hands go, letting off shots. So she had a mean jab, and it was splitting the guard of Aldana. They come from that Lobo's gym. They all keep their hands very, very high, almost glued to their face. And Dumont was still splitting the guard, connecting with that jab. Very, very accurate. I thought her path to victory would be takedowns. She didn't really mix any in. She probably attempted 2 in the fight, but she didn't get them. But she just pieced Aldana up. Aldana was chasing her as opposed to cutting her off. Like, she was just following her around the octagon. I would have liked to see her once, because there was a couple of times Dumont had her back up against the cage, and she just stepped to the side, and Irene Aldana wouldn't take that side step. She would just kind of trail her, and I feel like that's part of the reason why she couldn't really get to her. In the second round, at the end of the second round, there was a nasty clash of heads, opened up one of the biggest gashes. She actually had 2 cuts, one on the side of her eye and one on her forehead, leaking down right into the eye. And there you go, right there. That's what that looked like.
Nasty. Oh.
Hey, let me see that one more time. Oh my God. Aldana is a warrior. I knew she wouldn't get finished. Her last fight with Carol Rosas Jr. I wish we could have that pic, but just go look that up. They took pictures with each other in the hospital because they both had to go. Dana did confirm that she did go to the hospital, get checked out. Nothing is broken. Palms to the forehead, and Dumont was still sneaking them in. That was pretty impressive. And she showed that she had cardio. Dumont is now undefeated at 135. She was a 45er, but that division died with Amanda Nunes. And that was pretty much it. Rinse and repeat through the whole fight. There was one point in the third round where Aldana was using her shirt to wipe the blood out of her face, and I felt like Dumont could have went in for the kill right there.
Hey, Trevor, she will keep fighting after this. I can promise you that.
Yeah. She
Um,
again, the Mexican heart was on display.
I don't know, bro. Like, will Ariana Aldana ever become a champion? I don't think
No,
so.
and
I don't think so.
the reason why is because she gets hit too much. Number one, and number two, in the biggest stages, she don't really show up. When
Yeah,
she fought Amanda Nunes, I thought that was going to be a good challenge for Amanda, but she didn't. She didn't show up.
yeah. I actually foolishly picked Aldana in that fight. Sorry, Amanda. I apologize to the goat. But yeah, I have a question, bro. Like, should this fight have an asterisk because the cut came through like a headbutt, though? You know what I mean?
No, because she won every round despite that, and that was at the end of the second. So,
Yeah,
I mean, the cut wasn't from punches, but I mean, at the same time, the other cut was, and she just dominated the fight.
yeah. She got beat up pretty bad. I didn't.
But,
I didn't see.
but Irene, she finally put stepped on the gas in the third round, but by then it was too late. She couldn't really see out of the one eye because of the blood, and you can tell that when she landed, she had way more power. But
I don't know. To me, honestly, like I don't want to take nothing away from Norma Dumont. I'm a huge fan of Norma. Don't get me wrong, but for reasons I'm not going to explain. But anyway, um,
yeah,
Aldana, I just felt like she could have performed better in this fight, bro. Like you're supposed to be the one that got the good boxing and from the gym down there in Mexico and everything with Grosso and everything, and I just feel like she still was eating leg kicks a lot, you know.
yeah,
She was checking them a little bit better than the Cara Rosa fight, but she's very stubborn, and I feel like she got this mentality of I'm gonna just keep pushing forward no matter what. And
yeah. You can't out tough everybody.
yeah, and that gets her in trouble, you know, because as you can see, Rosa, her last opponent, isn't on quite the level of Dumont, and you can tell like that was a difference. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
if Rosa was a little bit better, she could have finished her. She could have got the victory. And then when she had to step up in competition against Dumont, she got thrashed. You know, ain't no other way to put it. You know, I wanna make an excuse for the headbutt, but like you said, even she didn't win round one. She was already losing up until that point anyway. You know, and shout out to Norma for just finding that sweet spot and still hitting her. And like
Hey man,
I might say, gotta finesse sometimes. Shout out to Mike. What's up, Mike?
Mike is right. You do got to finesse sometimes, and that's exactly what Norma did. Hey, let's talk on the Dumont side for a quick second. Um, I feel like she's slowly, quietly creeping up and just cementing herself as a top bantamweight. What do you think should be next for her?
Well, first I want to say I ain't gonna lie. When they was walking out, I was thinking like, damn, Norman talk a lot of trash, bro. Like she do, you feel me? Because she was talking a lot of trash about Pena and
I'm
saying
out here
that
writing as usual.
she was talking trash about Pena and just saying how the division ain't that good and stuff like that, and just kind of shitting on a lot of the women in the division. And I'm like, damn, that's not a good look because you finna come out here and get thrashed. But she actually won, and that makes her look even more, even better, and it makes me more of a fan of her because she ain't afraid to get into some backstage altercations or step up to her opponent. You know, she bought that. I think that she should fight Holly Holm, get Holly Holm out of there on how many fights Holly Holm got on her contract. But she's ranked number 8 now. Before this fight, Holly Holm was number 7. Or maybe she could fight Marno Beno Silva. You know, I don't know.
Man, that'd be a good one.
I would say one of those two.
Or put her against Chasson.
Yeah.
But Chazon is kind of more up there. I feel like she's chasing the title right now. I wouldn't put Norma in that category quite yet. But how would you explain her style? Because one thing that stood out to me is Norma Dumont. Now, a lot of people you can say, oh, this guy's a boxer. This guy is well-rounded. This guy is – you can look at people's stances. Oh, he's a kickboxer. He's a Muay Thai guy. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's a wrestler. But where her, I feel like it's true MMA, but it's something in there that I don't think I've seen like with most fighters. Like her shot selections are kind of like different, and I feel like every fight she fights different, so you can't really put her in any category. It's kind of like a true mixed martial artist, but I feel like it's something extra in there that I can't really put my finger on.
Yeah.
So next fight.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
All right, I'm gonna just call it out. Next up, we had Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic. This was the fight of the night, and it once you saw this fight, you realized that the Charez fight couldn't be fight of the night. It was the close runner up, but the fight starts off. Daniel Zellhuber uses the good long range weapons as usual. He kept I skipped the fight. I'm sorry. Opening up the main card, we had Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. I picked Ronaldo Rodriguez. I didn't really see Ode Osborne winning this fight. But when the fight started out, Ode Osborne came out, definitely showed he was the faster fighter. He connected with a mean 1-2 fight of the year and third round of the year. Yeah, you could argue that. You could definitely argue that. So Ode Osborne comes out. He's talking about the Zellhuber fight. But Osborne comes out mean 1-2, and there was power behind it. It wasn't just like a setup shot. And he snapped Rodriguez's head back like a pass dispenser. And then he stepped back and then came back in and hit him with the same combo again, dropped him. I'm like, oh, Ode's finna go ahead and win this fight. And the way Rodriguez fell and his head bounced off the canvas, I thought that was it. But again, Mexican heart on display. Ode Osborne got on top, started trying to pound him out. Rodriguez flipped it over, and Rodriguez got on top. Osborne caught him in a mean triangle, and I feel like he could have submitted him, but he showed a lack of I guess jiu-jitsu skills, because when he had him in the triangle, one thing that stood out to me is he could have chained it into the armbar as well, and I feel like he would have got him out of there. But his lack of chain submission kind of costed him that fight. Ronaldo was able to get out of the triangle, stayed on the ground, started getting off some ground and pound. I feel like Ode probably tired his legs out because he was squeezing that triangle for a good minute, maybe even a little bit longer. Osborne lets Rodriguez make it out the second round, out of the first round. Second round, they come out. Rodriguez started letting his hands go, kind of trying to stay at range. He goes for a shot. Ode Osborne catches him in the guillotine. He has it tight. Ronaldo, in one of the most unique ways I've ever seen, gets out of the guillotine by hitting the front flip, reverses position, and by this point, Ode Osborne is gassed, and Rodriguez grounds and pounds him, and that was pretty much the story of the fight for the remainder of the fight.
Yeah, this was a good way to start off the card. Ronaldo Rodriguez. First, I meant to say before Arena Adana, before she fought, that's when they started turning on the screens. And they started turning on the LED boards in the background of the sphere. And then when you got to Ronaldo Rodriguez, it was kind of like a little Aztec kind of thing. They did like a little pre-fight video and everything like that. And then they do a cut scene to Ronaldo, and you see him just dancing, doing like a little salsa dance on the way to the ring. And he was happy, just smiling from ear to ear, really feeling the moment and everything like that. Maybe that was a little bit, he was maybe too much in the moment. Maybe that's why he got caught, because he's clearly, in my opinion, a better fighter than Ode Osborne. They threw Ode to the wolves in this fight. But shout out to him, though, because he definitely came to bring it. And like you say, he caught him in the first round. Then after that, he dropped him. And I I feel like he probably should have just tried to follow up, or maybe even let him back up.
Yeah, he definitely snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah, but to my brother's point, when he had that triangle, if you have somebody in the triangle, you're not supposed to just rely on that one move. That's also a distraction to go for other moves. You could do arm bars in that position, or you could take your right arm under his left leg and then flip him and roll him over. And you can get on top, But he was just
a la Diego Lopez.
Yeah, he was just focused on that triangle, and that was all. He gave all his energy, and his legs, I'm sure, after that was just weak because it takes a lot, bro, to get somebody from a triangle. You got to pull it down with all your force and squeeze and push your hips up and everything like that. So it expends a lot of energy, and he was in that position for a while, and Rodriguez was able to get out. So from that point on, when he got up, me and my brother looked at each other and knew the fight was over for him, basically.
I'm like, just like that, it's a wrap.
Because in the fight, the way MMA works, bro, like when you get a moment like that, you got to just shoot on it and just get your opportunity, and that's it,
Yep.
But Rodriguez, he was able to pull through. He survived, and he was able to just get the victory, and started smiling from ear to ear right afterwards. He always smiling.
Tighan Black says, definitely Osborne fell in that submission sequence, got me upset. Yeah, and you could tell he came to steal the show. He was like, I'm not finna, I know they throwing me to the wolves. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. And he almost pulled it off. It's a wrap. The VP of Right has spoken. Appreciate you, sir. Now, back to this fight. I was so excited to get to it. So Zell Huber comes out, keeping Esteban at distance, using long-range weapons. He kind of, I'm not going to say he dominated, but he clearly won round one. Towards the middle of the round, though, Esteban was starting to find his range, and they had some pretty decent exchanges. It was action-packed. And this fight just turned up round by round as it progressed. It got better and better. Second round comes out, and I still right now don't know who won that second round because it was very highly competitive. Both guys were throwing long combinations, like 4 and 5 punch combinations. They were landing. Zell Huber was using more kicks, but I think he had a wider variety of strikes, but Esteban with the hands, that was all he really needed at that time. They were cracking each other with body shots, left hooks, right hooks, and they were just kind of like standing on the quarter in the middle of the octagon trading shots. And it's like every 10 seconds, it's like, ooh, ah, oh. Like nobody wanted to back down. I feel like they pretty much embodied what this night was all about in this one fight. Like I said, I still don't know who won that second round. Third round starts out, and it's still they're doing the same thing. Both men come out the corner hyped up. They both know that this round is possibly for the fight. Quick question though to you: after a round like that second round, who do you think won the second round? First of all.
I can't really say, bro. It could go either way.
So what do you tell your fighter in the corner if you're a coach after a round like that?
I tell him, listen, we need this third round. Go out there and do what you got to do to win this fight. Like, don't like try to chase a finish, basically.
Cool. I'm thinking the same way
because Ribovic is safe to say he won the first round, right?
See, I thought Zell Huber won the first. And the second round was up for grabs. And even after the second round, I looked at everybody. We probably had like a good 10 people here. I'm like, so who won that round?
Nobody can give you an answer.
Nobody knew. So that third round comes, man, and it was just epic. Zell Huber had Esteban hurt, and I feel like he thought he had him more hurt than he really did. I underestimated his heart. I don't know what it was, but Esteban comes back and caught him with a mean, 2-piece, left hook, right hook. and then Zell Huber had the Bambi legs. And we're like, oh, he finna get finished. And he backed up against the cage. He wasn't throwing. Ribovich probably hit him with about a good 20 unanswered shots. And Zell Huber was falling all over the octagon. He kept trying to go from wall to wall, trying to lean up on the wall to keep his balance, but at the same time trying to get out of the shots that was coming his way. That was definitely one-way traffic for a while. And just when you thought the fight was about to be over, he sort of got his legs about him, and he started throwing back and got himself back into the fight. He should have got finished, but he managed to survive somehow, some way. And once he got himself back into the fight, he started landing some of the hardest shots of the fight. Trevor says, I'll say this, in a world of terrible officiating, the refs were awesome for not stopping this fight and the co-main. Definitely agree. This was just like a war, and I couldn't have complained either way. I picked Daniel Zellhuber to win this fight. They gave it to Ribovich. I'm not going to say they gave it to him. He earned it. I'm glad I wasn't the judge this night, and I was only a spectator, and I could not sit down watching this fight.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Zellhuber. That's my dog. I feel like he is the future of the division. Not saying he's gonna be a champion, but just like a future. The first round was back and forth. The second round was even more back and forth. And now I say the third round, it's when Ribovich kind of pulled the fight away and he caught Zellhuber and almost knocked him out. Shout out to Zellhuber for showing the wherewithal and the chin, man. Look at Beard Man trying to join the team, right? I see you. But yeah, it was the third round was epic, bro. The way he caught Zellhuber up against the cage and he was thrashing him, and I just felt in my heart of heart that Zellhuber was just finna duck one and catch him with a mean hook and just put him out. You know what I'm saying? A la Izzy and Poetai, you feel me? Or a la Pat Barry and Chet Congo or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And he actually caught him with some hooks too. And Ribovich just stood there, bro. Like he just ate it, you know? Montour was good. What's up?
Thinking Black say 50-50, I think Rebo edged it out.
We were robbed of 2 draws. Yeah, I mean, this could have been a draw. I feel like Ribovich, though, he did more damage to Zellhuber in round 3, and that's what kind of got him the victory. I'm not mad at this going to Ribovich, even though I picked Zellhuber, and I had him on the parlay too. But
hey, Matua, what would be the other draw?
Yeah, I'm interested.
I thought Rebo was gonna gas out and get caught with one.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying too. I was saying, he gonna gas this because once you go for the finish and you don't get it, yeah, you usually gas yourself out, a la Ode Osborne. But he man, both guys showed they had a great chin. They had a lot of heart, and they put on a show.
Yeah, this was definitely fight of the night. Before it was Charez and Joshua Van, but Ode and the other dude. Yeah, Ode, you could have gave him the first round maybe, but the second and third round went to.
Only way I can kind of see his argument is because Ode almost finished him with the subs.
Yeah. All right. Anything more you got on this fight, bro?
No, sir. And here we go. I thought this was going to be a fight of the night before this fight started. I said I picked Diego Lopez. Previous, I picked Zellhuber.
We both did.
Okay, so we both picked Diego Lopez in this fight. I think so did Trevor. So I said before this fight started, okay, Brian Ortega is going to get his ass whooped in the first round, and then we can have a fight. Because that's just the way it always goes. Yep. He always gets picked apart early, takes a lot of damage, and then gets into the fight. Usually pulls out a W. This was only his 4th loss in the UFC. First round, Lopez comes out. You could tell he wanted it. He just came out guns blazing. Dropped Brian Ortega early in round one. He was throwing with wicked intentions. I thought he should have let Ortega back up because Ortega is a submission specialist.
You know why he didn't, though.
He didn't, and I feel like he wanted to prove a point. And Joe Rogan even called it out. He wanted to submit this guy. But it didn't happen. He did get off some good ground and pound. Second round, Ortega comes out and starts to let go the hands a little bit, finds his range. But the one obvious thing is he could never get Lopez's respect because the power was just – it was too big of a difference in power. Ortega was landing shots, but they weren't really phasing Lopez. But you can tell when Lopez lands that, like, Ortega had problems dealing with it. He bloodied up his eye. His eye was almost swollen shut after the fight. Lopez dropped him in the second round again with a leg kick. And Lopez did look like he slowed down a little bit in the second round, but I wouldn't really hold it against him. I think it's because he tried to go for the finish in the first. Shout out to the referee, like Trevor said, for not stopping this fight because, and I think that comes with knowing the fighter. Like, you know, Ortega's going to take damage, but he's never been finished. I kept calling him unfinishable. Matua says, mad at Diego because he did what he did to Sadiq Youssef. He knocked him out early. Ortega's durability don't make any sense. It surely doesn't. Ortega's braids perform better than Ortega. Yeah. But I feel like he was just outmatched, outgunned, and I feel like he kind of got 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the featherweight because he was already talking about going up to lightweight before this fight took place. And Diego Lopez, I feel like, put himself right there in the title shot picture because he just took out number 3 decisively.
Yeah, featherweight, so the winner of Matt Holloway versus Topuria, Diego get the winner of that. I won't be mad at it. Diego, he dropped Ortega early in the first round, and I thought he could have finished him if he just ground and pounded him instead of even going for the submission. But
I think he should have let him up. But
yeah,
I don't think he could have finished him though. I just don't think Ortega can be finished. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, for real.
Yeah. I agree with you, bro. I think one reason I picked Lopez is because he just hungry and got that fire right now. He's that young lion, and Ortega do got 1 foot out the door. He finna move up, you know, and test his skills at the lightweight division, which is gonna be interesting.
If there was no such thing as a Poatan, then Diego Lopez would be right up there for Fighter of the Year.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah. But yeah, so then round 2 proceeded, and it was nothing too eventful. But round 3, I would say with maybe like 2 minutes left in the fight, he dropped Ortega again, and it was pretty nasty. I don't know. I wonder who Ortega is gonna fight. I feel like they think they're gonna give him a ranked opponent or no.
Well, they was gonna give him Charlie Olives, but then they announced Charlie Olives versus Michael Chandler. So
part 2, that's gonna be a good one. But so are you okay with Diego getting the next title shot?
Well, I'm okay with it. Well, do I think it'll happen? No, because I feel like
Don't you say it?
Huh?
I say, don't you say it?
You already know what they're gonna do.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Volkanovski's gonna come back and get a title shot.
No way. No.
But if Holloway win, I don't want that because that'll be what the 4th time we'll see that fight.
Hey, tune into Body Shot because we're gonna talk about topics like this and more because there's a lot of these fighters that you feel like are deserving of a title shot that just need to step down a little bit.
That I feel like are deserving of a title shot.
Yeah, Kamaru Usman, Umar Nurmagomedov.
All right, look, I didn't say Kamaru Usman deserves it. I said they're gonna give it to him because he stepped in 10 days notice against one of the most fiercest competitors in the division, higher just to save a card.
He got knocked out and then
I
lost the
feel like
decision
when you
and
do
then
stuff
lost
like
again.
that, when you do stuff like that, and he should have won that fight. I feel like when you do stuff like that, the UFC sometimes rewards you. You scratch their back, they'll scratch yours. That's the little politics. Do I agree with it all the time? Not necessarily. But do I understand it? Yeah, I get it.
You say you should have won that fight against Cosmont?
I feel like if they had 2 more rounds, it should have been a 5 round fight. I feel like if he had a camp, he definitely would have won it. Stepped up a weight class. Hamzat was getting gassed, dog. Like if they had 2 more rounds, he would have won that fight.
Yeah, but it
I'm
wasn't
not
two
saying
more rounds.
Hamzat got robbed. It was a 3 round fight. Hamzat won.
Yeah, exactly. So in the story, uh, I feel like
Lopez
Usman.
Fighter of the Year is nice because Poatan losing to Killer Khalil. Hey, you never know. I don't see it happening, but you never know.
We're gonna talk about these topics and more on Body Shot, bro.
Period. Outlaw says. That
That
sounds
sounds like
like
Kamara does. Listen, when you got a guy that has 18 wins, all finishes, and my boy Mark Rachmanov, I feel like he deserves that title shot.
I mean, you could give it to him based off of his resume, but if you look at the names on his resume, has he beat a top contender?
Wonder
And
Boy.
don't say Wonder Boy because Wonder Boy was 40.
I mean, listen, I think wins count for something. You feel me? It don't matter who you beat. I mean, it does matter who you beat, but at the same,
What do you
yeah,
mean?
it do matter who you beat. But at the same time, if you got a streak like that, then I feel he's undefeated in the UFC.
All right, yeah,
He deserves it more than Kamaru. Is all I'm saying.
Hey, when is the next body shot, bro?
This Saturday.
All right, this Saturday, y'all. Next body shot. Tune in.
We talking about some crazy stuff, bro. Look at that. So Shavkat is more fun.
Yeah, he is more fun, and that's the sexy option. You get what I'm saying? But
Cause see, it's people like you that be getting me upset because, yeah, you got to take the politics and your feelings out of it, man. And
at
do
the
what's
same
right.
time, this is a job, so your job don't reward you for some of the stuff you do when you come through. All the time.
You get rewarded in cash. Don't get rewarded in a title shot.
That's because your job can't give you a title shot, and title shots come with cash.
Man, anyway, go ahead, bro.
All right, so next up, I just pushed your buttons.
Yeah, you did.
All right, next up, we had flyweight champ Alexa Grasso taking on Valentina Shevchenko in the trilogy. Alexa Grasso won the first fight. The second fight, Valentina got robbed. It was Noche last year. They called it a draw, but she definitely won that fight. This fight came in, I feel like round 1 through 5 was rinse and repeat. Shevchenko started off with nasty counters. She was connecting every time she threw, it seemed like, which wasn't a whole lot. I don't want to over exaggerate here, but Grasso couldn't really connect, and every time she threw, she got popped. And I feel like she got a little frustrated with the. She kind of got too determined to land a shot, and it's like as soon as she thought, okay, so we're gonna strike, Valentina took her down. Kept her there for the whole round. Alexa did threaten with some submissions, but for the most part, she could not stop the takedowns. Valentina just grinded her out. Valentina almost got caught in a triangle in the first round. Second or third round, she almost got caught in a pretty deep. She did get caught in the guillotine. She just got out of it. Matua says, bullet with all the pressure. Loved it. Schenko, waterboarded slim.
Yo, that's coming on the day right there.
Yeah, it is. She definitely did. And after the second round, you knew Grasso was going to lose that fight because she was so frustrated. And shout out to Diego Lopez again, because right after his fight, he put on a performance like that. And then by the time Grasso walks out, guess who's in her corner? So shout out to him. And you can tell that Grasso has improved her ground game because some of those submissions were kind of like Hail Marys, and she came close to a lot of them. But Valentina just outclassed her on the feet, took her down when she felt like it, and rolled her out for all 5 rounds pretty much. When the fight was over, everybody knew Grasso lost her belt. Her corner started telling her, don't get frustrated. I felt like it's too late. And you can see like the look in her face, like she was just defeated. Like it's almost like she was looking like, somebody help me, please.
Yeah, we both picked Grasso because the reason I picked Grasso is because I thought that Shevchenko, my thinking was she can't finish Grasso and they're going to rob her again. You feel me? But she actually dominated this fight to where she, even though she left it in the hands of the judges, there was no way you could have given that fight to Grasso. Matua says, I like the wrestling pressure. Grasso was dope, though, threatening subs, but didn't try to go for any sweeps. I thought that was odd. Yeah, I feel like Shevchenko, she mostly stayed in side control or mount. And when you're in side control, it's a lot harder to get the sweeps. But from you could tell Valentina, her game plan was to just take her down and just stay on top and keep the pressure.
Matua says, I like the wrestling pressure. Grasso was dope, though. Threatened subs, but didn't try to go for any sweeps. Oh, that's why you just responded to. I thought that was odd. Do you think the Bullet is going to retire soon?
No.
I hope not. I feel like she want to still stake her claim of being that dominant presence in this division. I would like to see her go up before she retired. I would love to see even her have like a I don't want to call it a legends fight, but I guess they both will be legends, but like just a big fight against Wei Li. I think that would be fun and interesting. I don't know if she'll be a little too big for Wei Li. Wei Li is kind of big for her division as far as like mass. I would say this though. I feel like I definitely don't want them to run this back. I'm over this fight. And I thought Grasso was going to win though because I mean, we see it all the time in every division. Dominant champion run into somebody, they get a loss, and then you think it's a fluke, and then you realize, okay, this person is getting up there in age. Usually, when it comes to rematches and title fights, the younger person always wins the rematch. So I thought maybe this is just it for Valentina. I was hoping not, but it was what it was. Trevor says, how in the hell did Shevchenko survive those chokes? Great non-stoppage by the ref. Yeah, at one point I thought she was going out, but she was giving the thumbs up. Great reference from top to bottom. Chenko going up would be nice.
Chenko need to fight Marion Ferrot, defend the belt.
Yeah, that's what's next, I believe. She was in the building, but they didn't really speak on that.
Or anything else you got on this one, bro? Who should Grasso fight next?
Grasso did look like in good shape. Arms got better. I think she probably focused on trying to be more powerful because she dropped Valentina in the last fight. I think she probably focused on the strength and conditioning, thinking that she can get her out of there and really cement like this wasn't a fluke. But nah, Valentina wasn't having that. Next up for Grasso, I don't know. Let her fight Rose.
Rose fighting Aaron Blanchfield.
Ooh.
At UFC Fight Night, Moreno versus Albazi, Saturday, November 2nd, 8 p.m. Rogers Place, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
I don't know then. Who you think?
Macy Barber.
That'd be nice. I don't think Barber will take that fight.
Why not? You was finna fight Rose, who's ranked number.
Yeah. And why did she pull out? Nobody knows. So next up, main event of the evening, we had Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. Merab pretty much just dominated him. This was just like the co-main event. I picked Sean O'Malley because I thought Merab would get caught coming in, but Sean O'Malley obviously respects Merab more than he respected Aljo. because he would not let his hands go. Why does anyone pull out? Kids, that's why. But I don't know. I can't tell you the last time I pulled out, to be honest. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, Marab just pretty much rinsed and repeated. I'm happy he won this belt. I thought Sean O'Malley would be able to catch him coming in because sometimes he comes in reckless. I feel like I had Herb Dean winning the first round 10-9. Yeah, Herb Dean, because Marab got a beef with Sean O'Malley's coach. And they were talking crap to each other the whole time. And Herb Dean was like, hey, it ain't going to be none of that. And he pretty much shut that down real quick. One thing that I thought was odd and weird, but Marab is just a psychopath. At the end of the second round, he kissed Sean O'Malley on his back and was like almost like trying to son him and whatnot. And when he got up with 3 seconds left and started walking away, and then Sean O'Malley got up and rushed him and started trying to catch him with shots. I would have been so upset if that fight would have ended that way. Why pull out? Because face shots are better than body shots.
That was like, that was a
They going back away from any competition. Sean O'Malley needs to beef with his own coaches. Going for comment of the night right now. That pull out double untoucher was fire. Kiss of death. Man, the comment section is on fire right now. Marab should have kissed O'Malley's forehead like a child. Yeah, like he did since Henry Cejudo when he rubbed him on the forehead, picked him up, carried him across the octagon, slammed him down, started choking him while talking to Mark Zuckerberg, and then rubbed him on his forehead. Like, it's okay, kid. It's all right. Nobody's taking this belt from Marab. Next up is Umar Nurmagomedov.
oh.
The machine is the machine for a reason, and I mean, I'm glad he won. Like I said, I didn't see it happening. The bantamweight championship is now sugar free.
Hey, listen, man. Of my 3 fights that I was so sure on, this was the third one. I felt like Marab would just come in here and dominate. I kept calling this Usman and Bilal Part 2. I mean, not Usman, but Leon Edwards and Bilal Part 2. Marab, I feel like this is going to be an easy win. I feel like he was just going to come in there and dominate and just take him down and ground and pound him, and that's basically what he did. O'Malley, his wrestling is nowhere near the way Marab's is. And Marab don't shoot head first the way Aja do. He did it like maybe once or twice, but the way they get to their takedowns is a little bit different. Yeah, I feel like Marab, he should have been a little bit more focused, but it's just how dominant he is though over Sean O'Malley when it comes to the wrestling, to where he can, talk to his coaches because he felt like Tim Walsh was saying something to him, and then he showed like a lack of IQ a little bit when he was kissing him and he got up a little too early. Sean, that was his opportunity right there. If you look, he kind of punched around Herb Dean with his right, like with a right hook.
Yeah.
Like if you would have hit him with that left straight up flush, like that was his chance right there, bro. You feel me? And
Hey, so you think Herb Dean cost him the fight? Because he was kind of in the way right there.
Well, he was definitely in the way. I don't think he cost him the fight. I think he was just in position, in referee position. But I mean, if you want to say like, I don't think he purposely cost him the fight.
No, it definitely wasn't purposeful.
But yeah, if he wasn't in the way, O'Malley could have called him nasty. 2 cats from Georgia holding titles from Georgia is nice. Yeah, I like that too.
I just started watching MMA. Is this MMA Guru? No, it's not MMA Guru.
MMA Brothers.
It's the MMA Brothers. Lock in, like, subscribe. Check us Saturday for the Body Shot podcast. What we do here is we review every pay-per-view card on a Friday. We'll give our picks, predictions, how we think things are going to play out. And then on a Sunday after the pay-per-view, We'll come and do the review, tell you what we thought. You get to see if our picks were right or wrong. And then on Saturdays, not every Saturday, but we started a new show called Body Shot, where we just talk about current topics of MMA news and whatnot. You'll be getting a lot more of those. So like, subscribe, check out the channel, because there's something on this channel for everybody. Later on tonight, around 4:30, we got the Dolphins deep dive. That's where you get all your football talk. If you're unfortunate enough to be a Dolphin fan, then you'll hear a lot of Dolphin talk right there. Mondays, we got Man Talk Mondays. We got Tate Fist Politics on Tuesdays, Wrestling with Reality Wednesdays, Bible debates on Thursdays. It's just a channel full of stuff, so lock in. I will say this: O'Malley did hurt Marab in the fifth round with that body shot, and I kind of got worried a little bit, and it kind of reminded me of Cheeto versus O'Malley, where Cheeto hurt O'Malley with the body shot in the fifth round. Only thing is, it was way more time. It was way more time in the hate is it's real and it's genuine though, cause I gotta be genuine. Matua say Aljo's takedown attempt is bizarre. Marab with the weaponized endurance, masterclass grappling. Marab need to finish folks moving forward. I agree with that. I agree with face shots. So yeah, Marab does need to work on his finishing ability. I feel like Dana was a little probably upset with this result, because I'm sure he didn't want Marab with that belt. But one thing we do have to say, we cannot stop talking about this fight until we mention at this point you got to start considering Ray Longo the greatest coach in MMA history. I mean, probably the only coach to have champions in different eras, different weight classes, and he has 4. Matt Serra, he had Matt Serra when he defeated GSP.
Biggest upset in UFC history.
And then look at the fighters who he coached the titles. Look who they took them from. He had Chris Weidman, who took the belt from Anderson Silva. He had Aljamain Sterling, who took the belt from Peter Yan. And then now he has Marab, who took the belt from Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, that's something to talk about too on Body Shot. I think he is, but yeah, I'm happy for Marab.
Matt Serra is the best welterweight. So that was pretty much it. Anything else you want to add on this card overall on this fight? Anything?
No, the fight the main event anyway. When as I predicted, I would have made money off of it, but I lost some other fights in the parlay. I didn't hit. The presentation is what really got me. Hopefully they come back to the Sphere next year for something else. It ain't gotta be Noche, but hopefully it's something else, like UFC 400 or something.
I don't think it'll be next year, but I do think they'll probably be back at one point. Even though Dana reiterated that they wouldn't, I feel like if it was such a success, that was an amazing card, amazing night of fights.
He got that Saudi money, man. He could do it.
And I feel like people were not entertained by the co-main and the main, but I love all aspects of the MMA, so the grappling I didn't mind it at all, especially because I got the results that I wanted. And when you want somebody to win, you don't care how they do it.
UFC Juneteenth, I wish.
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually. So,
hold up. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Video.
Yeah, I mean, I became a fan during COVID. Literally just met a couple people this weekend. Our fan base grew 69% during COVID. And yes, I think that tonight's event, some people probably tuned in for the first time. Hopefully they turned off for the co-main event, and they're big fans now. To me, I became a fan during COVID. Met a couple people this weekend. Our fan base grew 69% during
Yeah,
COVID.
Dana.
And yes, I think that tonight's event, some people probably tuned in for the first time, and hopefully they turned off before the co-main event.
Yeah, Dana shut out with that one.
Well, Dana is one of my favorite people, like celebrity wise and whatnot, if you want to consider him a celebrity. And one of my favorite public figures. One thing I love about him is you're gonna know how he feels. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna know exactly where he stands. Hey Taz, if you're still here, I would like to ask you what got you into MMA, and what was your first fight, and did you tune in last night? But yeah, what you got to say about that, bro?
I think you're tripping, man. You know, I mean, what did you expect, Dana? Like, hope you didn't expect for it to be a banger in the finish for the co-main event. I don't know.
In his defense, I didn't expect I mean, like, not my expectations, but if you look at the first and the second Grasso Shevchenko fight, they were both way more entertaining than this one was. But also, to speak against what he's saying, if that was Khabib, he wouldn't have had a problem with it.
Yeah, exactly. Or Kobe Covington.
Or DC.
You know?
The co-main event was boring coming off the previous fights, but Dana hates non-finishes. I think he just don't like the grapple heavy fights, unless you one of his favorites, like Khabib, DC, somebody like that. Other than that, he does love finishes, but I feel like even more so, he like back and forth wars, especially in his co-main events.
We missed some comments. Outlaw asking where would Juneteenth be? I say put it in his sphere and do a history of African Americans the way he did with Mexico. My tool said either somebody's grandmother's backyard or Texas. His wife's face knows how he feels too. Yeah, with Texas. All right, bro. We got some other news to get into. It's about that time for the KO of the night.
All right, let's go. That was real easy. The KO of the night was Ignacio Bahamondes starching Miguel Torres. Step back right hand. 2 times.
That was nasty.
Right on the chin. Look at that. That's just beautiful.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. And
neither did him. Neither did he.
For beat down of the night, that was an easy one.
Yes, sir. Irene Aldana got destroyed by Norma Dumont, even though the cut was caused by a clash of heads. That was the most one-sided fight on the card.
And last but not least, we got to give an honorable mention and a shout-out to Mighty Mouse.
The greatest flyweight of all time. Regardless of what anybody say, maybe the best pound-for-pound fighter in UFC history. It's going to be debatable, of course, because that's all opinion. Mighty Mouse definitely a pioneer in the game. 11 straight title defenses, 12 straight title fights, undefeated in all of them. He's a star in the UFC. He didn't sell that many tickets, but he always put on a show, always performed. He fought some of the best of the best. The level of competition that he destroyed in the octagon time after time after time is undeniable. We were there when he actually became the first UFC champ. When he defeated, we were there. That was the draw. That was the first fight.
Yeah.
When they had the flyweight tournament, he went to a draw with Ian McCall. They ran that back, and he became the first UFC flyweight champion. Then he left the UFC in the first ever trade in the MMA. They traded him to 1 for Ben Askren. He went to 1, and all he did was just get the belt there too. Fought Rod Tang in an MMA Muay Thai fight where the first round was Muay Thai, the second round MMA, third round Muay Thai, fourth round MMA. But when he finished it in the second round, he did take a loss over there. He avenged it. I think his only losses were to Adrian Moraes and Dominic Cruz in his career. They're the only two I can remember.
Yeah.
And this year, the flying armbar, aka the mousetrap.
Yeah, he's definitely the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Definitely the best of his division. Even though he wasn't super flashy, I always enjoyed seeing him fight. I got nothing but respect for him. Inside the octagon, outside the octagon. He went over there to one, did his thing, you know, so I got no issues with him at all.
Hey, and never any controversy. Take pride in being a husband and a family man before a fighter, and never failed a drug test. That's real big, especially considering the era that he fought in. Some of your greatest pound for pounds, the roids. I mean, they got some questionable asterisks because of the steroids. A la Anderson Silva, a la John Jones, a la Brock Lesnar. You get what I'm saying? So, which I feel like Brock Lesnar shouldn't even be in the GOAT conversation at all. But that's another topic for another day.
He should be.
Okay, all right. Like I said, body shot.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to add to this?
I just want to say, with the recent conclusion of this pay-per-view, we are now tied. I was leading the lead with 2 points. We're beating you by 2 points, but we are now tied at 63. It's terrible. I don't like it. So I got to come back and I got to do better, and I got to start not picking with emotion as much, and I got to win this thing, man. We only got 3 more cards. October 6th is UFC 307. That'll be Poatan versus Khalil Roundtree, and then you got 308. That's going to be at 2 p.m. That's going to be an early one. That's Matt Holloway versus Taporia. And then 309, we John Jones and Stipe. And we don't have one for 310 yet.
Hey.
What's up?
Mike is right. Brock Lesnar isn't even one of the best heavyweights, much less pound for pound. We'll
discuss stuff like this on Body Shot.
All right, y'all tune in. Come back to this channel 4:30 for the Dolphin Deep Dive. No, I'm sorry. Be on the scoreboard.
Mike is right. Dr. Umar don't like anyone. Nobody.
Until then, let's go Steelers.
Go Bucks. 1 o'clock. Let's go and beat them stinking Lions.
Hey, Trevor, let me get a couple of them tears, man.
Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe to the channel.
Happy football. Peace.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Straight Talk MMA, hosted by Zay Bones. The MMA